What is going on YouTube? My name is Lamont. This is Fascinating Graveyard. And today we are in Aiken, South Carolina. We are at the South Lawn Cemetery. And I'm here today to visit the grave of one William Joseph Cobb. He is billed as the heaviest wrestler of all time. Now, it's going to be a good chance that you never heard of this guy because his heyday was back in the early 50s, his career ending in 1962. So let's talk about who he was and how he came to be a wrestler. So originally, I believe he was from southern Georgia, and he was a farmer, and he was very well known in his area. Don't quote me. I think he was from Macon. And he was very well known in that area because he was insanely strong. Like this guy, you ever heard of that term, just, country boy strength and farm strong? This guy was strong as an ox. So later on, somebody was talking to him. They're like, hey, man, you should give wrestling a try since you're, big, strong boy. So he hooked up with a wrestling promoter and he made his debut in 1953. So this guy, by the time he starts wrestling, this guy weighs over 700 pounds. He was so heavy, when he would get into the ring, they would have to take the bottom rope off and they would roll him into the ring. And this guy, he wrestled so long ago. You had big, huge wrestlers like the McGuire twins and Man Mountain Dean and Haystacks. Of course, those are the wrestlers that you would know that were really, really heavy. And this guy was before all of them. And a lot of his matches were against Haystack. That's how he became very well known, other than, just being immensely large. And before the match, what they would do is they would take him to a meat processing plant to weigh him. And then when he would go to whatever wrestling event that was being located, they would bill him at whatever the meat scale said. Sometimes he would come in at a little over 800 pounds. And actually, there is a match where he came in at 904 pounds. This guy was huge. They had a specially built Pontiac Cadillac with industrial strength shocks. What they did is they took the front seat out. So basically he sat in the back seat and that was that. And a wrestler by the name of Harley Race, who is one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, he was hired to actually be his, I guess you could say, assistant. This guy would drive him around. So Harley Race, who is one of the toughest wrestlers out of the ring of all time. Now, I believe the thought is that of many wrestlers who've been interviewed before, that they all unanimously say that Ravishing Rick Rude is the toughest wrestler ever. Like, you don't mess with Ravishing Rick Rude. You just don't. And Harley Race is in the top 5 of just toughest wrestlers in and out of the ring. So this guy, Harley Race, was 16 at the time. He was hired to be this guy's assistant. So he would drive him around. He was his chauffeur, and he had to bathe him. Yeah. So how do you bathe a man that weighs 800 pounds? So what they would do is he would take off all his clothes and get naked and then go around back and wherever he would stay at. He would get a garden hose, wet him down, take dish soap and a mop bucket and just slosh him down and then hose him off. That's how you bathe an 800-pound man. $5 a day, Harley Race got paid to do that. And Harley Race also would wrestle him in the ring too. And he got paid $25 for every time he wrestled him. Harley said that that William was the one of the kindest men he's ever known. He wrestled under the name of Happy Humphrey. So he said that every time Joseph would run into like a fan and they wanted an autograph, he would always sign the autographs and he would always socialize with them. He was very friendly. Now, you know, being a 750, 800-pound man, when you go out in public, you're going to get stares, you're going to get people gawking and laughing. And there was a couple examples of where his weight was a real hindrance in his life. So when he was down in Alabama, he got stuck in a phone booth, and I believe it took like half a dozen police officers to get him out. Restaurants would refuse service to him because he was so large. He would be in a restaurant, and people would like start mocking him, laughing at him. One time he got stuck in a movie theater seat and I had to come and get a welder with a torch to cut the seat out. I mean, yeah, it was very, very, you know, in your life to be that large. I mean, it's one thing when you see somebody famous and they're large and then you see them, they're entertaining you and then you go home, but they still have to, you know, live their life and live with themselves. So in 1962, his health was getting bad and he had to retire from the ring. So finally, he gets in contact with a medical school in Georgia, and they actually used him as some kind of a weight loss subject, a weight loss study. So what they did is they locked him pretty much into school. He lived there for 2 years. He was not allowed to leave. And what they did to help him lose weight is they would give him different kinds of diets to try and see if this would work or that would work. Now, all the diets, they would all be like based on like a 1,000 calorie a day diet, which that's pretty tough. I mean, you're that large and you're only allowed to eat 1,000 calories a day. So every 56 days, they would modify his diet. So for 2 months, it would be keto diet. And then for the other 2 months, it'd be high protein, low fat diet. Then the next 2 months it would be a high fat, low protein diet, so forth and so on. And in total, it took 2 years, but he lost 570 pounds. He's actually, I believe, in the Guinness Book of World Records for the fastest weight loss of all time. And then when he got out, he weighed about 230 pounds. He moved to Augusta, Georgia, and got a job at a shoe repair shop. And basically, that's how he lived his life. Unfortunately, he passed away on March 14th, 1989 at the age of 62. He died of a massive heart attack. When he died, this guy gained a lot of his weight back, so he was about 600 pounds when he died. William Joseph Cobb, guys. Just a very, interesting story that you might have never heard of unless you're a really big wrestling fan. And yeah, this is Happy Humphrey, or they would call him also Happy Farmer Humphrey. So immensely strong man and very kind too. So rest in peace to Mr. William Joseph Cobb. I hope you guys found that story somewhat interesting. Anyways, fascinating graveyard, guys. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification bell. It'll let you know when I upload. I appreciate it. Catch up with you on the next vlog. Who knows where we're gonna go, but we're gonna go. Peace out.